Hello and welcome to my new video, how to draw a modern house in one-point perspective. In this video, I'll show you one way to draw the famous case study house number 22, a modernist building in California. The first step in this drawing is to draw a horizontal line, which will be our horizon line. And on this line, we need to draw a dot for one-point perspective, and that will be the vanishing point. From this vanishing point, draw some diagonal lines coming towards us, towards the bottom of the page. You need to do two, and then two more either side, so that there's a big triangle in the middle, and then two smaller triangles either side. Once we have that, now we need to put a line a little bit lower than the first horizontal line, and then one a little bit higher than the first horizontal line. The top of these two lines needs to be much longer, and that will be the roof of the house. And then on the corner we do a diagonal line, which again leads from the vanishing point so that you know the direction, and then you join that up with another vertical line. This line here is the back of the house, and we'll draw that, and again that's parallel to the first horizon line. Now we need another vertical line going all the way up between these two horizontal lines, and that will be the edge of one of the sides of the house. Now we draw a diagonal line reading again from the vanishing point, and that will be the corner of the right hand side of the house, and then we draw a lower horizontal line for the thickness of the house, and then towards the top of the right hand side we draw the edge of the roof of the building, and that will be another horizontal line which will be parallel with another horizontal line on top of that. Now we need to draw some more diagonal lines. Again, all of these lines, if they continued, would end up at the vanishing point. On the right, just below the horizontal line, we could draw a wiggly line, which will be the actual horizon, and then in the foreground we'll draw another horizontal line, which will show the edge of the swimming pool. Now along here on the left, we need to extend the house a little bit. And then an upright to show the corner, and then again from the vanishing point reading across another vertical line. So we draw a vertical line first, and then from the vanishing point reading across another diagonal line, and that will be the left hand side wall. And then here, again parallel to the first horizontal line, we'll draw the back of the building. So the next line to draw is the bottom of the roof on the right, and that's another diagonal line that goes to the vanishing point. And now at this stage we can start to add a few details, and to do this we can draw some of the columns which are on the front side of the building that we see. And again, to do that we'll need to erase some of the lines. So the original horizontal line has gone now, the vanishing point's more or less gone, and some of the lines going right to the vanishing point are no longer necessary, so they're gone too. So now we're just doing these upright thin columns which are evenly spaced. Next we need to draw a little bit of detail here, which is going to be the steps to the swimming pool. I just erase the earlier line here because we don't need that anymore, because in a moment I'll probably put some steps in there. Again, these lines are read off the vanishing point, which you can just see there's a basic dot left after erasing some of the lines. And you'll notice that as the parallel lines come towards us, they'll get slightly wider, and as they go away towards the vanishing point, they'll get closer together. So in this part here, I'm going to draw a series of lines which are parallel, and they get a little bit fainter as they go down, as if they're going into water. Along on the right, instead of the straight horizontal line that we had at the beginning, we're starting to put a bit more of a natural line for the horizon. And then here, we can put the columns that we're looking through one side of the building to the right hand side, where we can see two more columns. And we're just finding out where those go. and working out how far back we want this building to look. So it's quite a narrow building. So this is the back line of the roof that we're seeing through the front side of the building that we're looking at. And then in the midground here, I'm going to draw a small square in perspective, and then probably just, I think I should raise it up so it's got a thickness to it. So just repeating the shape that I've just drawn, just a little bit higher, will make it like a raised surface. And then within this square in perspective, we can put a tree. I think a palm tree is the tree that I saw that this building has. So we'll put a palm tree in. That can be a wonky line. Probably needs to not go above the horizontal line of the rooftop, just so that when we put some shaded tone on to the building, it doesn't interfere with that, and that might work quite well. So the palm tree just needs a few basic shapes within it, because I might put some colour in this drawing later on. So the lines that we're doing now are just an indication for a later drawing, really. Do some reflections into the water, and they can just be slightly fainter lines, which are slightly wobbly, but they're repeating the things above them. And then on the left hand side, we need a few more of these very thin columns, and that will give us some more dramatic space. So we're starting to get that sort of funneling that perspective, 1 point perspective does, where all the lines are sort of shooting towards the vanishing point in the centre. On the right hand side, just speeding up the video for a moment, we need the city and a little cliff that the building is resting on the right hand side. And these city buildings need to be perhaps a variety of different shapes. I'll do a few more of those later on. Just again speeding up the video a bit, we do a bit of the back of the house, a little bit more to the reflection, and trying to find the underneath of the roof on the left hand side. And now, because this building is transparent, we can see some of the objects within the room that we're looking at. So on the left hand side here, I could add a chair, and a chair really is like a cube in perspective, and then you can make, if you think about it like a cube in perspective, and then you can find out where the legs go. So try not to do the detail of the chair perhaps, and just do the basic shapes, and then you'll find that the angle of the legs follow the diagonal going to the vanishing point, and all the uprights stay upright. The next step would be to add some tone, and to do that I just use a 4B pencil, and most of the tone is quite flat, meaning that it's not graded, it doesn't change too much. So that might be very dark tone, or a mid-tone, or a light tone, and just dotting around various areas, choosing which areas should be a mid-tone, which areas should be a dark, very dark tone, and which areas should be a very light tone. And then once you've finished using perhaps a 4B pencil to put some tone in, for this drawing what I'm going to do is to add some colour, and I'm using some pencils, some colour pencils, which when you add water to them they become a bit more like watercolour. But if you're drawing this, you could leave your drawing just a tonal drawing or use any colour materials that you have to add some colour to it. It might be useful to, if you do add colour, to make the swimming pool a different sort of blue to the sky. So I use a green actually for the swimming pool first, and then I put a bit of blue in it afterwards, and then the sky is a different blue. And then on the right hand side for the city, I put a bit more tone in that. I hope you find this drawing useful for your own drawing. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Circle Line Art School, where you'll find many more other how to draw videos, including many on architecture and buildings. For example, there's a video of how to draw a city in 2-point perspective and another video of how to draw the Eiffel Tower, a narrated video. Again, thank you very much for watching and see you next time.